Good question. What's happening? What's happening? I gotta ask the John Travolta. Uh, Good actor, great actor, image. What? How will you come down with him? Um, One of the most charismatic actors I ever saw, cause he really had the it. Could you imagine, like, if Tom Cruise had wheels? And wheels is slang for dancing. If he had wheels, he would have probably been John Travolta. Cause that's pretty much the difference right there. Imagine you dancing and you're charismatic and you're hugely popular. But the thing that Tom Cruise has over Travolta is that he could carry movies into different eras, and so whatever you may have thought he lacked as a leading man, he made up for it in different ways. It was a kind of a smug, a kind of a coolness, but coldness, but yet it worked, which you can't really put into. Travolta had an interesting aura because when we go out from Carrie to Saturday Night Fever to Grease, Blowout, Urban Cowboy, he couldn't miss. But then his career stalled because he was the dancing cat, and then when he came back with Staying Alive, that went glad bag, perfect. He had a lot. He one of those cats that had a lot of opportunities, but he just made a lot of what we call run of the mill movies, which he was just trying to cash in on who he was, and it kind of made him look like a cat that was overrated, underrated, which most of them are. I mean, they all are. I mean, we can do that all day. But his is the thing about it is that he actually, unlike say someone like Brad Pitt, who I did this on, Travolta actually got some persona there that's got some soul, got some feeling in it, and he can actually pull off stuff, and he can be a leading man, and he could definitely co-star, and he definitely has some versatility, has something in there. But it's just that he's done so many bad movies or just corny movies, either for a paycheck or just to get over, that it's kind of watered him down, and you kind of lose. He's one of those guys. Ironically, he was in the movie Face Off with Nicolas Cage. They're kind of in the same boat in regards that sometimes they were better than what they put out, but then they've been kind of forgotten with what they put out because the great stuff that stands out is great, but a lot of the mediocrity stuff and the stuff that was subpar didn't put so many duds that you need reminders because you do got reminders. I mean, Travolta was Tony Manero Saturday Night Fever is one of the greatest movies ever, and of course in Greece. When we get to Pulp Fiction with him and Samuel Jackson, that was an iconic role. I That role worked. I don't know if I would say that the call of the movie's debatable with who you ask, but it was a big comeback for him. But even Quentin Tarantino said basically Travolta was like Tom Cruise, but on lunchboxes. He just sold everything, and he was hugely, insanely popular because white collar suits with the butterfly collars out. That's what his era. But when we look at him in totality, um, it's like good, great, or was it the image? I will say he's like close. He's low first tier because of his impactful catalog movies. He's had some impactful movies. So I say lower first tier. It's just that he's had some duds and they do work against him. And but he's had some big iconic movies that you got to give him the nudge in that regard. Image plays a big part because charismatic, and he's been in some big hits. I mean, Wild Hogs. He done sidekick roles which worked, and he had movies that hit. He had a career in the 70s, 80s, and the 90s. So, and you can't say the guy didn't hit in different ways, but you can also say that he also, kind of was kind of his own worst enemy. But I will give him to say because of the impact of some of his roles, he gets lower first tier. So that puts him in the very good catalog. But he ain't mentioned with the greats of the greats because he's had a lot of them movies that you kind of side eye. Anyway, let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.